Yes, we are live. Hello. I love the lighting here. Hello, good people. As you know the deal, when you get in here, you tell me who you are and where you're watching from while I'm still notifying my peeps. Okay. Just hold on a bit. Today my WhatsApp is not working on this PC. I'm not sure why. Right. Hello, I see there are two people who have already joined in. There are two people who have already joined in. My PC looks like I have been doing the things. I'm going to tell you just now what is it that I did. And I am so full of energy as we speak because of the things that I was doing now. Hello, good people, and it's so hot. Or is it because of the things that I was doing, guys? Let me just close off here. Okay. Close a bit, close this one, close that one. Hello, 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 hello. I hope you can hear me. I hope. What did I do now? Okay. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. I love the lighting here. Oh, can somebody take me a screenshot and say, hello, coach? Okay. So give me another second. You know, yesterday, last time we did this so, quickly, but today, copy. And my friend used to say that when I'm doing this, I should just talk because there are other people who are joining as a replay. But please forgive me if you're watching a replay. Okay. We're almost there. And I am getting so hot, guys. I'm getting so hot. It's not even funny. I was dancing while waiting for the time because I'm always early. So I was dancing while waiting for this time to go live. Now I'm sweating and it's so hot in here. I'm not sure what to do. Okay, I'm done. Okay. So let us begin. Hello, beautiful people, those who are joining me live and those who are joining me as a replay. Please forgive me if you are watching a replay that there is 3 minutes of not saying anything. It's because I was busy alerting other people that this is the work that we are doing. My name, for those of you who are here for the first time, is Malebo Oljonzindi. I am also known as Coach Malebo. I am a holistic life coach, an author, and an energy healer. And hello, Naledi. I have these two books called The Journey and Confessions, and also Create the Life That You Want is a journal. And welcome to my channel. If you are here for the first time, I'm not sure about Naledi, but I know Smo has always been here. If I have missed that, Naledi, please forgive me. If you are here for the first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let us grow this community together. So today we're talking about spirituality and relationships, and I am hoping that if you are going to do the things that we're supposed to be doing here, you have done the first one. Last week we were talking about cleansing after marriage, after divorce, after a friendship breakup or a relationship breakup. And I know that people want to speed up the process, like, okay, let me go and cleanse and then I am done. But during the time of cleansing, whether it takes you a year, whether it takes you 6 months, keep yourself sacred. Just make sure that you do not share your emotions, your things. You know, when you are in a relationship, what you do, you keep them to yourself and you work on yourself, right? So today it's all about now spirituality and relationships. Now a lot of people have this idea, and this thing I've only heard it from, or I hear it a lot from people who are traditional healers, or that African spirituality or African religion, whatever we want to call it. I always hear them emphasizing that when you are gifted, then you are struggling with the relationships. I mean, today I just wanted an idea of, well, how can I do the what is this, the thumbnail for YouTube. And I went and I checked relationships and spirituality, and the people that came out of there were either sangomas or in the traditional healing community. And I wonder, why do they have that? Because there is no god or ancestor who has made us struggle with the relationships, or with you know or not being able to balance between spirituality and relationships. So this is what we're talking about today. The first thing that I want you to note is that um, God, or whoever that you believe in, wants you to have all the things that you want in your life. God wants you to have money. He wants you to have a husband, a boyfriend, whoever. He wants you to enjoy this lifetime. But unfortunately, God cannot do the work for you, because there are things that you have to do for yourself as a person, right? So what is the first thing that you do? Now, the church has tried to speak about what is this, sex before marriage. So the church have been talking a lot about sex before marriage is a sin, but they have never explained in detail what would happen. And most of us, we had sex before marriage, right? Even though we were in the church, some people aborted babies then, some people had babies and a whole lot of other things. Some people got married while they were pregnant, meaning that they were having sex before marriage, right? So this is the thing, that when you tell somebody don't do it, they are going to do it. I always see with my son, when I say don't, he will go literally and go and do it. But when I explain to him, this thing is going to hurt you, and then he's not going to do it. Now, the church has never explained this, and then the African side comes with this conclusion, you are always going to struggle when you have a gift, when you are called and all that. So all of us, we are called. What does that mean? So we're going to struggle with having relationships. Okay, so the first thing that we need to understand as a people is that we are spiritual beings. Now, a lot of times, and how we have been conditioned to believe, and how we were made up, our human makeup, if I could say that, we have a desire to relate with other people, right? And this is for the purposes, it's God, it's what God has already done. God said, go and multiply. In order for you to multiply, there has to be other people within your cycle who can help you multiply yourself, right? So we grow up with a need and a desire to multiply, right? And now, because of that, and also the biological part of it, where when you reach a certain stage in your life, you want to have sex, like you don't plan it, even if you are a born again Christian or whatever, that thing naturally comes, right? So because of that, and we haven't been taught how to work on ourselves. We haven't been taught how to work on our spiritual being. We jump over to a relationship. We jump over to saying, I want to have a relationship, and there's a whole lot of things that happens in your life, and you start attracting things that were not supposed to be in your life, simply because you went into a relationship before you knew yourself. So the basic part of a relationship, whether you want to get married, whether you want to be in a stable relationship, whether you don't want to be, whatever it is, or whether you want children only in a relationship, the base of that should be you understanding that you are a spiritual being. Right? It's you understanding that. And for you to understand that you're a spiritual being and start operating from your spirit, it's working on yourself. So a lot of people go and get married and, do a whole lot of things without knowing themselves. And I've seen many marriages collapsing because of the fact that people got married for love. People got married for love, and sometimes love is not there in marriage. Let us be honest. For the people who have been married or who are married, there is no roses all over the place every day that you are seeing your husband, your wife kissing. Sometimes you even fight. So we cannot get in a marriage only because there is love. Right? So many people make that mistake of getting into a relationship, into a marriage form, without knowing themselves. And what then end that relationship is the fact that they do not know themselves. It's not because another person is good or bad. It's because we do not know ourselves. Right? So the basic part is for you to know yourself. It's you understanding who you are. Right? As a spirit being, right? Many years ago, I didn't know that I actually knew this gift, but I didn't know that it is as big as this, right? And I got into relationships, and I started also, exchanging my energies with other people who then made this gift that I have, that today I'm operating on. They made it, I don't know how to explain it, but it was as if like it's not operational anymore, because my focus is not on growing myself. It's on growing a relationship. And when your focus is there on growing a relationship and you forget about yourself, guess what happens? Right? So the first thing is for you to understand who you are. Before we get even further, understand, who am I? Who is Malebo? Beyond the boundaries of religion, beyond the boundaries of whatever culture and all that, who is Malebo? That is the first thing, right? The second part of it, I'm getting so hot in here. Okay, so and the second part of it is for you to know your purpose. It's for you to understand and know your purpose. Many people do not know their purpose. Many people do not understand their purpose. And they are rushing into knowing another person, knowing how that person operates, when they do not know what was the reason for them to be in a relationship. Right? So that is the second part of it. Before we get into relationships and spirituality, know you as a spiritual being, what it is that God has given you as a spirit being. The second part is it knowing your purpose. A lot of people, guys, they get married, and when they get married, what then happens is, when you get married, when you don't know yourself, let's say I am a pastor, I didn't know it. It's something that has just been, somebody just told me that you should be a pastor, and I don't know myself, right? And I get married to a pastor, maybe, right? And while we are in this marriage, maybe 15 years later, I find out that I am a sangom and not a pastor. This pastor is going to think that, hey, you are demonized and all that and all that, right? And then the marriage might even end. Most of the time it ends, because how can a pastor marry a sangoma? Those type of things. So many marriages ended when people started knowing who they are, when people started understanding their purpose. So before you get into any other relationship, make sure that you know your purpose, you know who you are in the spiritual realms, right? Now, the second part of this, I want us to discuss the light and the darkness. Okay, so the light and the darkness operates like this. Biblically, it has been said that it's in the book of Matthew, when two or more gather in my name, I shall be in the midst, right? So when two people gather, they have to be in an agreement. And sometimes people are in an agreement and God is not part of that covenant. I hope I'm making sense. So there are people who agree that, okay, let's be together, right? But whether it's a partnership, whatever it is, but God is not in the midst of that, right? So that is the light and the darkness. In church, they would say it's the devil, right? So there are people who are in a relationship that is part of the darkness, and meaning that God is not there, right? And when I say God, I want you to bring your higher self to this equation. I want you to understand that there is a higher self in this equation. There is, your guides and everybody. They are not there with you when you make this decision. And many people make this decision because, one, they are bored. They are bored within themselves, and they think, oh my goodness, I'm so lonely. I need somebody to cuddle with. I need somebody to, all these things that they always think that they are outside of themselves. Now, when you get in such a relationship because you are bored, it means that you have lost the God that is in you. It means that you have no access of the God that is in you. So what the Bible is saying, that when two or more agree in my name, I shall be in the midst. When you are not agreeing in the name of God, in the name of your higher self, your creator, whoever you want to call it. So the darkness, there is darkness, there is light, right? So anything that is within the darkness, it has power over you, right? So think of the devil, Lucifer. Lucifer was an archangel, and he started withdrawing from his own identity. He could see that he could do a lot of things, that already God does, and he started thinking that he is God, right? So because he drew from the light that he was in, he is in the darkness. That is why the Bible is saying that Lucifer wants to get everybody on earth to hell and all that. Lucifer wants to get people who have lost their identity in God, and most of the time he gets into these things called, what we call, situationships and relationships. Lucifer, or the dark spirit, get through that. And now when they get through that, they can do anything. Anything can happen in that, because there's no covenant. You are not there. You are not present. Your higher spirit is not present. Your higher being is not present in that, and everything can happen. Now, a lot of times when people are bored, when people think, oh, I'm old, and all these things that we make, oh, I'm old, and I'm lonely, and all those things, then they get into a relationship for those reasons. Now, when they get into that relationship, they start feeling the feelings of love, which is not love. It might be infatuation, it might be something else, because love is light, as we all know that God is love. So love is light. So this one that you are in is not love. It's something else that comes or manifests itself as in a form of love, right? Now you are in this mess with this person, and anything can happen. So one day, when this, I think about 3 or 4 ladies that I know who have done this, sometimes we will invite them here and they will explain to you how this works, right? So women especially have got this, we have been given this building thing inside of us, right? We have been given this thing of either we build one another, or we build the men that are in our life. We groom small boys to be men, to be president, to be all these things. Now, when you don't know yourself, that energy, you are not going to direct it to the right path. You are going to then direct this energy to a path that was not meant for you. So, what do I mean when I say you don't know yourself? Going back to what I said, when you think that loneliness can be taken out by another person, when you think that you don't have money, and only the only thing that you can, or the only time you can get money is through another person, anything that you think about when you get into a relationship that is outside of yourself, it means that you are getting into a covenant that God is not available there, because the God that we serve, He's the creator of all things, and He has created everything, meaning that He has created you with a purpose. Now, when you separate from your purpose and you live, I think in the Christian world, we call it the worldly life, right? Then you live like that, then you are not in the covenant of God, and anything can happen. So now many women have that building thing in them. Now they get into a relationship from bottom. The reason why they got there is because maybe they were getting old, or they were bored, they needed sex, and a whole lot of other things, right? And then they get into these relationships. Then when they get there, they catch feelings. When they catch feelings, they want to also build, because we have that thing in us that we can mold, we can build the society. I mean, a lot of people out there. I grew up in an area where mothers, there were families where fathers were not there. It was only women who were there, but they groomed those men and women to becoming, beautiful people out there. So when you have separated from yourself, you are going to build a man in a covenant that God is not there. Guess what is going to happen? Everything in your life can even collapse. So not so long ago, I think about 3 ladies. The other one got into a marriage. Some even go to the extreme of getting married to this, and you are not consciously aware that what you are doing is actually out of order, right? So this lady, let me start with the first one. This lady got this guy, and there were so many things that within the relationship, the foundation of the relationship was not fine, but she overlooked, right? And then they got married, and this guy did something that is extremely, I have never thought that a person would do that, right? And then they are divorced. And the time of the relationship to the time of the divorce, this person had a lot of trouble in her life. A lot of trouble, everything just collapsed. And this person that she was with, elevated. But she was going down. Everything in her life was going down. But before she met this person, she was all fine. The only thing that was not in her life was a man. So many of times when you get into relationships because you are bored, because you are old, because you are this, you are going to meet the people who are in the dark. You are going to attract them because you have separated from yourself. And these people are going to pull you down. They are going to pull you down. I always say, when you are in a relationship, if you want to see if your relationship is for the light or the darkness, look at your life. Look at your life. Are you struggling with basic needs? And basic needs is money. Basic need is it's money. It's relationships with others. It's also a health. Is that happening in your life? What is happening in your life? When somebody comes in your life, the Bible says, when 2 or more gather in my name, in the light, I will be in the midst, meaning that God will bless the covenant where He is, right? So when I meet, and believe you me, I've done that before, and today I look at myself, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can see it now. Look at what I have created because I thought I didn't have money. There are other people that I've dated because I thought I did not have money, and the only time that I can get money is through a man. Then I dated those people. Today, when I look at them, I'm like, my goodness, did I really date that? Because I was hungry. It was not a relationship. I did not know myself. I did not know anything about me and my spiritual life. I went into a relationship from the darkness and my life deteriorated. And when you are in those type of relationships, your emotional well-being, you are not settled. You have to check on their phones. You have to check who is commenting on their statuses. You have to check who is doing anything. You are not relaxed in bed because God is nowhere. And who is God? Again, the Spirit of God is inside of you. It's in you. Now, when you have left that spirit, believe you me, you're going to have a problem at work. You are going to have this and this and this. And I'm not saying that the relationships of light, they do not have challenges. They will have challenges, but it will be like one challenge after, since I have been with my husband, right? And I'm going to tell you a story. Since I've been with my husband, this is 6 years. All I have been doing is elevating. It was only in 2016 when I spoke things over my life and I was about to lose my job. But all I have been doing was elevating. And I have been in relationships before, guys. I know I have been in wrong relationships myself because I was hungry, because I didn't have a car, because of all these things. And I thought, these are the people who can give me a car. These are the people who can give me money. These are the people. There was a club that I wanted to go to in Sentin. I think it was ZA. I knew that I couldn't afford to go to ZA. Now we have Conga. You know that you cannot afford. The only person who can take you is a man. Believe you me, you are actually exchanging. You are in an agreement to exchange your energy with another person, and they're going to pull you down. Now, as I've already said, women have got this thing of building. Men will never settle for less. There's a post of a man who said, I'm so surprised that my girlfriend thinks I'm going to marry her. As soon as I get a job, I'm going to leave. Now, with this thing, when you don't know yourself, with the building thing inside of you, instead of you directing that energy to yourself, to building yourself, guess what you're going to do? You are going to build people who are not willing to be built, to be changed, to be nothing. Now, a lot of women, especially who have money, they do this, all right? And I'm talking about women a lot. I know that men do it sometimes, but it's really hardly that you can see a man settle. When a man wants a woman, he will go and say, this one I want, right? But women, they would just stay and do project fix a name. Because of what they build, the nurturer inside of us. We always want to nurture other people. And we do that because our energy is distorted. So when your energy is, you are whole, you are not going to look for a person to build. You are going to be ready for a person who has built it themselves to come into your life and build an empire. You are not going to do that externally. Now, many women would settle for that okay, I have money, I have everything, and then they take a person who has been stuck for however many years. They do not have a job, life is just complicated, and they bring those people in their lives. You are bringing, even though you are looking like you are bringing someone that you can come and elevate in your life and all these things, you are bringing their energy, their stagnancy, their energy in you. Believe you me, I want to really come and talk to these 3 ladies that they can tell you about their story, because this has happened. And I always say it. If you're in a relationship, you're not growing. Why are you in that relationship? For love, for sex? Huh? Can we just sit because there's sex in a relationship? Huh? You sit because there's money in a relationship. How many people out there can come and elevate with an elevated energy, can come and give you money, can give you sex and all of that? Now, with this building thing that we have in us, we are looking at, people who, and when you don't know yourself, people can lie to you and say, I haven't had a job in 3 years, but I am trying and all that. But when you know yourself, when you are in your channel, when you are whole within yourself, guess what happens? You will know when somebody's lying. You will know that this one does not have a car, this one is not staying there, this one is this and that and that. You will not have to ask them where they are staying. Their energy will tell you, because you are within your power, right? So when the energy is distorted, when you have separated from the light of God, the love of God, you will then start wanting to be in relationships without a purpose, without meaning, without anything, just because you are bored. And you get there with people who have been stuck, with people who have father issues, with people who have wounds, and you start also having those type of things, having anxiety, having depression, because of the people that you are sleeping with. And even if it's not sleeping, guys, for the mere fact that you have a person in your life, and even friendship, right? Even when you go to work now, we are so okay, myself, I'm fine when I'm working from home. But there are people who are struggling with depression and all this, and when we get there, then you start consuming their energy. So imagine if it's a relationship. Now you start consuming that person's energy, you are giving them your luck. There is this thing of what Nigerians are doing, that they will sleep with virgins and all that. I've heard it for many times when I was in Sunnyside, that they would go and buy you alcohol and sleep with you and take your luck and all those things. They don't have to be Nigerians to do that. They can just come in a form of a relationship, and they will suck out your luck, suck out your blessings, suck out everything. Now the church said don't have sex before marriage, but you never knew what was it. But it is not even only about sex. It's sharing your emotion with a person who is what do you call it, intentionally messy. A person who is not, he's not, or she is not willing to build themselves. You are taking. And women, we are receptors. That is why a man is not pregnant. It's us who builds, who we give birth to whatever that we chow, right? So if you are sleeping with someone, obviously you're going to be pregnant. That person is not going to be pregnant. Now many people are pregnant spiritually, emotionally, with a mess, and that mess manifests in your life as work problems, as when every time when you want to tell us a story that they have fired you, and then they have done this and then. It's because of the people that you are with in your life, the people that you are sharing yourself with. Now all this thing happens, going back to the first part of this video, when you don't know where you are spiritually. And I'm not talking about a religion, because people can go to church and start praying in tongues and say, oh, rabba, rabba, but they don't know themselves. I'm not talking about a religion. I'm talking about your truest identity, the 99% of who you are. When you know that, then you will know that even if I get a man who has money, now my things are going to pop. Ask every person I have been with, my friends, my boyfriend, I would tell them a story that my things are going to pop. When now I was coming back home to myself and realizing, Bupelo, this life that I'm living is not the life I'm supposed to be living. And I got in touch with my spiritual being, and my spiritual being said, your things are going to pop. And here my things are popping. Every now and then I get a call, oh, Malebu, come and speak, where Malebu, do this, Malebu, do that, I don't have to depend on my husband for me to eat. If I want to go and do anything, I can just start my car, I go. Now, when you don't know the part of you, the 99% part of you, of who you are going to get even worse in marriages that are going to hurt you so bad that when you come out of there, you are going to say men are dogs. But it was you who is a dog, because you had attracted another dog, because you guys did not know who you are. So be careful. of who you are saying yes to when you are getting in a relationship. And please, this advice, you can take it, you can leave it. But I always wonder, maybe because I have never been there and I have never been attracted to such people. It's my son. I've never been attracted to such people. I wonder, when you get in a relationship with anyone who cannot afford themselves, how are they going to afford you? Because the possibilities that when you get in a relationship, you can have a child are high. You are going to have sex with that person. So when the child comes, then what? What then happens? So if you cannot, if you will be in relationships with people who cannot afford themselves, they cannot afford you. They need to go and fix their life first before they can come and say, I love you, because they don't know what is love. They are just entangled by lack and all these things, and thinking, oh my goodness, maybe if I can get this. A person must be able to be stable by himself or by herself. And even ladies, these things that we do of, yeah, I want a man with money, it's good. It's good that a man must have money, right? It's good that way. But you must have your own money. That you don't go into a relationship because you are hungry. You don't go in a relationship because you do not have a car. You don't go into a relationship because that is desperation. And desperation is in the dark. Now, when you manifest anything in the dark, everything can happen. God is not protecting you. There's no covenant. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing. So if this person, it can give you disease, can give you anything, can even give you their chronic illnesses, their anxiety and depression and other things, because you are with them and you are sharing your energies with them. So a lot of people think that when you are spiritually, what you are struggling with a relationship. No, you're not struggling with a relationship. It's not a struggle. It should not even be a struggle. When you are spiritually inclined, you can see people for who they are. So there can be a lot of people that come to you and say, hey, to me, I love you, but you know who they are. So you cannot even touch that dial. You can't even go to that dial. But again, when you are spiritually inclined, you don't have to go there and say, hi, I'm single, I'm looking for a man, or I'm single, I'm looking for a woman. Energetically, you are going to attract the person that is supposed to be in your life, the person that was meant to be with you. Because you are not bored. You do not think that you don't have. You are not operating from lack. You are not sexually deprived. You are whole as you are. Even when you haven't had sex in a year, 14 years, whatever, you are whole as you are. So be careful, guys. Be careful of getting in relationships where actually every time when you get in a relationship, ask yourself, even your relationship, many of you are in a relationship. I'm not saying go and say, hey, Coach Male was sad. But I want you to ask yourself, why are you in that relationship? Anything, right, that is outside of yourself. I'm in a relationship so that I can feel loved. I'm in a relationship because I want to have sex. I'm in a relationship because of money. You need to think again, because there is a whole lot of things that can happen in that relationship. That is why you see a lot of people being in 17 years of a relationship, there's no marriage, there's nothing. Because that relationship does not have a purpose on its own. Its purpose was to have sex. Its purpose was to give money. And that money is been given, sex has been given. That's it. There's no marriage, there's nothing. And then again, you are not in the light, right? So, many years ago, believe you me, I had been there. I had, and I think maybe my love for one series was dead, because my ex-boyfriend was driving a one series. I had been dating people because I didn't have, money. I didn't have all these things, basic things. Oh my goodness. Because I didn't have money, I didn't have all these things that I thought a person should have. I thought they were outside, so I started having relationships with people who were also in the darkness. The covenant of God was not there. Guess what? I got heartbroken every after a relationship. No, you know, a lot of people would say, "Yo, you are so beautiful," and all this. Even when you are beautiful, you are seeing flames because of what? Because you don't even see that beauty. You don't even know yourself. When then I started saying, man, I think I should be a coach, you know, I started writing my book and all these things. Then that's when my life started, you know. I didn't have to tell my husband that I want to be married. He was the one who said that. Other people, I had to go and ask them, where are we going with this relationship? Do you love me? I had to go and check, you know, on us, can I buy CID or what? You know, those people, private investigators, where you going to check on Facebook, or this one is commenting on this one. Why are they commenting like, Guru, you know, you don't even have peace. I have been there myself. I got the t-shirt, I am done. Now today I'm teaching about it. You don't have to go through there. Go and find out who you are. Go and heal yourself. Go and do the inner work. Go and work on yourself. When you do so, you will be very sexy. A lot of people would want you. I mean, there's a lot of people who would say, "Yo, if you were not married, I was going to be with you." You know why? Not because of my body and anything, but because of the work that I am doing on myself. So if you're going to do that, then the covenant, when you get in an agreement with a person, you know your purpose, right? You know where you are spiritually. So you would want, if you are a born again Christian, you would want people who are within that space, right? So that you don't get surprised of now people going to party and all these things, and you are not even going to compromise it. If somebody else comes who's not like that, you're not going to say, "Hey, but he's nice, he has a car." No, you are going to stand in your power and say, "My person is this and this and this," right? That's it. And that person will avail themselves for you. And they will come and they will give you peace. And even when in the midst of a storm with that person, when you are growing through a lot, guess what? Peace will be part of your life. So I'm done. I am done. I am done. I am done. Let me read the hello Naledi Dilisile Small D. Hey to me. Yes. Hi coach. When the time is right and the platform allows, I will testify to what you are saying, because you are preaching, my friend. Thank you. Preach. Yes. That's it, guys. So go and work on yourself and be honest with yourself. I always say, be honest with yourself. The relationship that you are in, is there anything that it brings let's just minus sex and money. Is there anything else that, or even people would see that you are in a relationship? Is it, you know, let's take those things out. Is there anything in your life that is changing when you are in a relationship with those people? And then now go back and ask yourself, what is the purpose of this relationship? Okay. The purpose of how, you remember last week I said, also ask yourself, how did I feel when I got in a relationship with this person? Was I busy doing the work and then they came, or I was busy posting on Facebook, you know, with an idea I should get a man? Those things are going to help you stop wasting your time with people who are not going to do anything. If you want to be married, you don't, there's no, you know, the Ferguson said 3 months they got married. Here I am, I also got married after 5 months. On the 1st of December we are celebrating 5 years together in marriage. You don't have to go in trial period and try and tell a person that. And men knows this. Men knows that this one D I'm going to marry. Small I'm not going to. They know. They are just there to waste your time. So don't allow people to waste your time. Be spiritually inclined that you can even see through their lies that this person is lying to me, and I am done. I am done. I am done. Otherwise, girls and boys, we are going to have a session on womb healing. This is for people who have been sexually abused. If you want to be part of it, please do speak to me here on my WhatsApp. I'll leave my number, the link to my WhatsApp. You can speak to me. And next year on the 25th of March, we are also doing a retreat, and this time we even have a book launch. I'll be launching my brand new book. The name when the time is right. So we're going to be doing an exclusive launch. If you want to be part of this, the exclusive launch, you should come to the retreat. Is 4,500, and you can start paying anytime. If you feel like you have 4,000, just do it. If you want, you can book. Firstly, you book with 1,000. Yeah. Firstly, you book with 1,000 for people who want to, pay kadi installment, right? You can book your space with 1,000. Remember, I don't have a lot of people for the retreat. It's a lot of work that I have to do, standing in the gap for women who have been sexually abused, who have been traumatized, and all that. So I don't want to take a number of women because it's only me who will be, the guide or guide, for that. Okay, Mamotina, yes, girl. The disrespect, I have enjoyed the trauma, the drama, looking for something that has been inside of me all this time. All we are looking for is deep within us. It's also looking for us. It's in us. If you want love, love yourself. If you want money, but like I don't have to go and say my husband, he will give me money. Yes, but I'm not dependent on my husband to give me money. I have my own money. So I'm not in this marriage because of money. I can just say, okay, I'm going to walk out because it's not about money. Some people are in abusive relationships and marriages, and they can not come out because they are thinking, oh, if I leave my kids, who's going to, if I do this? Yeah, the very reason why you were not supposed to be there at the first place. So I will see you guys tomorrow on the group. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. I love you. Good night.